Imagine the weight of the world on your shoulders, the constant worry about how to pay the bills, the stress of debt. This is a reality for many. Welcome to the world of debt, a universe that, unfortunately, is all too familiar for a vast number of people. It's a place where bills tower like skyscrapers, where the shadow of outstanding balances stretches far and wide, and where the clock ticks not in seconds, but in accumulating interest. Debt is not just a financial problem. It's a social issue that affects people from all walks of life. It's the recent college graduate grappling with student loans, the young family juggling credit card debt while trying to put food on the table, the retiree facing mounting medical bills. It's your neighbor, your colleague, your friend. It's pervasive, it's relentless, and sometimes it feels insurmountable. The impact of debt extends far beyond the wallet. It seeps into every corner of life, casting a dark pall over the simplest of joys. It's the gnawing anxiety that keeps you up at night, the heavy sigh that escapes as you open a new bill, the dread that settles in the pit of your stomach every time the phone rings. It's the constant juggling act of robbing Peter to pay Paul, of deciding which bill to pay and which can wait another month. Debt is a burden that weighs heavily on the mind and the spirit. It's a relentless worry, a ceaseless cycle of stress and strain. It's a constant companion, whispering in your ear, reminding you of its presence at every turn. It's a thorn in your side, a monkey on your back, a ball and chain that keeps you tethered to a life of financial struggle. But remember, there's always a way out. Let's explore how to escape debt faster, even in challenging times. It's not an easy journey, but it's a journey worth taking. It's a path that leads to peace of mind, to financial freedom, to a life unburdened by the weight of debt. It's a road less traveled, but it's a road that leads to a brighter, debt-free future. So let's take that first step together. It's time to face the debt dilemma head-on. To conquer debt, you must first understand it. Let's dive right into the different types of debt that you might encounter. First up is credit card debt. This is a type of revolving debt, where the amount you owe each month depends on how much you've spent and whether you've paid off any of your balance. If you're not careful, credit card debt can quickly escalate due to high interest rates and the temptation to spend more than you can afford. Next, we have student loans. This is an installment debt that's typically paid back in fixed monthly payments over a set period of time. Unlike credit cards, student loans often have lower interest rates, but the total amount borrowed can be significantly larger, leading to a long-term financial commitment. Then there's mortgages. These are loans taken out to buy property or land. Mortgages are also installment debts, with repayments spread out over many years, typically 15 to 30. The interest rate may be fixed or variable, depending on the type of mortgage you choose. Now let's talk about interest rates. An interest rate is essentially the cost of borrowing money. It's a percentage of the total amount you borrow, known as the principal, and it's added to your debt regularly, often monthly. High interest rates can make your debt grow quickly, turning a small loan into a large debt if it's not paid off promptly. For example, if you have a credit card with an interest rate of 20% and a balance of $1,000, you could end up paying $200 in interest in a single year if you don't pay off your balance. That's money you're paying just for the privilege of borrowing, and it doesn't even reduce your original debt. So understanding your debt means knowing what type of debt you have, how much you owe, the interest rate you're being charged, and how this interest can affect the total amount you'll end up paying. With knowledge of your debt, you can create a strategy to overcome it. Not all debts are created equal. Prioritizing your payments is key. So how do you decide which debt to tackle first? There are two popular strategies to consider: the debt avalanche and the debt snowball methods. Let's start with the debt avalanche method. Picture an avalanche. It begins small, but as it gains momentum, it becomes a powerful force. This method works the same way. It involves paying off your debts from highest to lowest interest rates. You make minimum payments on all your debts, but the debt with the highest interest rate gets any extra money you can afford. This way, you're targeting the debt that costs you the most in interest. Over time, this can save you a significant amount of money. Now, let's talk about the debt snowball method. Think about a snowball rolling down a hill, growing larger as it picks up more snow. The debt snowball method works in a similar fashion, but instead of focusing on interest rates, you pay off your debts from the smallest to the largest balance. You're still making minimum payments on all your debts, but any extra money goes towards the smallest debt. Once that's paid off, you roll the money you were paying on that debt into the next smallest one. This method can be incredibly motivating because you see debts disappearing faster. So which method should you choose? Well, that depends on what motivates you. If you're driven by logic and numbers, the debt avalanche method could work for you. If you need quick wins to keep you motivated, the debt snowball method might be your best bet. Remember, the best plan is the one you can stick to. Consistency is key. And don't forget, every penny you put towards your debts is a step towards financial freedom. Prioritizing your payments can help you pay off debts faster and save money on interest. It's not an easy journey, but with a clear strategy, you can conquer your debts and regain control of your finances. Negotiation is a powerful tool in your debt repayment arsenal. It's like a secret weapon, waiting to be deployed. And here's the thing, it's not as daunting as it may seem. Negotiating with creditors can be boiled down to 3 simple steps: preparation, conversation, and follow-through. Let's break them down. Firstly, preparation. You need to gather all your financial information, how much you owe, who you owe, and your current financial situation. It's like going into battle. You wouldn't march in without knowing the terrain, right? Next comes conversation. Approach your creditors with your facts and figures at hand. Be frank about your financial situation and request for lower interest rates or a change in your payment plan. Remember, it's in their best interest too to help you pay back what you owe. Here are some tips. Be polite, be persistent, and be patient. It's not going to be a one-and-done deal. It might take several calls or meetings to reach an agreement that works for both parties. Lastly, follow through. Once you've negotiated a new deal, it's crucial that you stick to it. If you've promised to make regular payments, ensure you do so. If you've agreed to a lower interest rate, make sure it reflects in your statements. Now you might be thinking, what if they say no? Well, remember this, no is not the end. It's just the beginning of a negotiation. If one creditor doesn't agree to your terms, don't lose heart. Keep trying, keep negotiating. There's always room for compromise. And there's something else to remember. Negotiating with creditors isn't just about reducing your debt, it's also about relieving some financial stress. When you take control of your debts, when you negotiate better terms, you start to feel less overwhelmed. You start to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So don't underestimate the power of negotiation. It's not just a tool, but a lifeline. It's not just about money, but about peace of mind. Negotiating with creditors can not only reduce your debt, but also relieve some financial stress. A budget is your financial roadmap, guiding you towards debt freedom. Now, some of you might be thinking, budgets are restrictive, or I don't know how to create one. But let me assure you, a budget is not a constraint. It's a tool for clarity and control. It's like a blueprint, showing you where your money is going so you can make informed decisions. So, how do you create a realistic and effective budget? First, you need to understand your income and expenses. Start by listing all your sources of income. Then, track your expenses for a month or two. Categorize them into needs, like rent and groceries, and wants, like eating out or entertainment. You'll be surprised at how much you spend on things you don't need. Next, subtract your expenses from your income. If you have a positive number, great, this is your surplus. If it's negative, don't panic. This just means you need to review and adjust your spending habits. Now, here's the fun part. Allocate your surplus to your debts. If you have a deficit, find ways to cut down on your wants or increase your income. Remember, the goal is not to live a Spartan life, but to live within your means while chipping away at your debt. Budgeting is not a one-time thing, it's a continuous process. Regularly review and adjust your budget as your income, expenses, and financial goals change. And don't forget to include a little something for savings. Even a small amount can add up over time and provide a safety net for unexpected expenses. And yes, sticking to a budget requires discipline. But think of it this way. Every time you resist an impulse buy, every time you choose to save instead of spend, you're taking control of your financial future. You're saying no to debt and yes to freedom. So grab a pen and paper or your favorite budgeting app and start mapping your financial journey. Because with a solid budget in place, you're one step closer to escaping debt. Sometimes reducing expenses isn't enough. Increasing income can fast-track your debt repayment. Let's talk about ways to boost your earning potential. Have you thought about starting a side hustle? This could be anything that taps into your skills or passions. Perhaps you're a whiz at graphic design or you've got a knack for writing. There's an entire online marketplace just waiting to be explored. Websites like Upwork, Fiverr, or Etsy offer platforms where you can market your skills or products to a global audience. And the best bit? You can work on your own terms, in your own time. Another great way to increase income is by selling unused items. We all have those items gathering dust in our attics or garages. That vintage dress you've never worn, the guitar you haven't touched in years, or even the old comic book collection from your childhood, these could all be converted into cash. Online marketplaces like eBay or Facebook Marketplace make it easy to sell your items to a wider audience. Also remember, your primary job is a potential source of increased income. Asking for a raise may not be the easiest conversation to have, but remember, if you don't ask, you'll never know. If you're consistently performing well and exceeding expectations, it's worth discussing with your employer. In addition, consider investing in further education or training. Improving your skills or qualifications can open up opportunities for higher-paying jobs or promotions. Lastly, don't rule out passive income. This could be from rental income, dividends from investments, or even royalties from a book you've written or a product you've created. Passive income can provide a steady stream of earnings with little active effort on your part. Remember, every extra penny you earn can be directed towards your debt. It's like adding fuel to your debt repayment engine, helping you reach your debt-free destination faster. Increasing your income can be a game changer in your journey to escape debt. When it feels overwhelming, remember, professional help is available. Escaping debt can often feel like a lonely journey, but it doesn't have to be. There are credit counseling agencies, debt consolidation services, and bankruptcy attorneys who specialize in helping people like you regain control of their finances. Let's start with credit counseling agencies. These are organizations that can provide you with personalized advice and strategies to manage your debt. They can help you understand your financial situation, create a budget, and even negotiate with creditors on your behalf. What's great about these agencies is that they work with you to create a plan that fits your unique needs and circumstances. Next, we have debt consolidation services. These services can be particularly beneficial if you have multiple debts with high interest rates. They work by combining all of your debts into one loan with a lower interest rate. This means you only have one payment to worry about each month, and you could potentially save a significant amount in interest. Finally, there are bankruptcy attorneys. Now, filing for bankruptcy is a serious decision that should only be considered as a last resort. However, if you find yourself in a situation where your debt is simply insurmountable, a bankruptcy attorney can help you navigate the complex legal process. They can advise you on whether bankruptcy is the right choice for you and guide you through each step of the process. The key takeaway here is that you're not alone in your journey to financial freedom. There are professionals out there who are ready and willing to help. They can provide you with the tools, strategies, and support you need to tackle your debt head-on. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your debt, don't hesitate to reach out for help. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, to ask for assistance when you need it. And remember, every step you take towards tackling your debt, whether big or small, is a step closer to financial freedom. Seeking professional help can provide the support and guidance you need to escape debt. Debt repayment is a marathon, not a sprint. Staying motivated is crucial. As we journey on this road to financial freedom, it's important to remember that this isn't a race. The path may be long and winding, but with an unyielding spirit, we can certainly reach the finish line. It's normal to feel overwhelmed at times, but remember, it's critical to keep your motivation high. Firstly, celebrate small victories. Each bill paid, every reduction in your overall debt is a step toward your goal. Even if it's a tiny amount, it's progress. So, give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing great. It's these small victories that fuel your motivation to continue. Secondly, keep the end goal in sight. It's like climbing a mountain. You may not see the summit from the base, but with each step forward, you're getting closer. Visualize your life free from the shackles of debt. Imagine the relief, the freedom, the opportunities that come with it. Keep this vision alive and let it motivate you to continue. Thirdly, surround yourself with positivity. Connect with people who uplift and encourage you. They can be friends, family, or even online communities of people who are on the same journey as you. Their stories of success can inspire you to keep going. Fourthly, don't be too hard on yourself. Slip-ups happen. You might have an unplanned expense or a month where you can't pay as much as you'd like. That's okay. Don't let it derail you. Breathe, regroup, and get back on track. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Finally, remind yourself of why you started. Was it to provide a better future for your family? To be free from financial stress? To achieve a dream? Whatever it is, let it be your driving force. Keep it at the forefront of your mind and let it fuel your determination. With motivation and perseverance, you can overcome debt and regain control of your finances. Remember, every step, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction, so keep going, and soon you'll find yourself at the finish line. Let's recap the strategies we've discussed to escape debt faster. In the realm of financial hurdles, understanding your debt is the first milestone. It's about grasping the nature of your debt, knowing the interest rates, and being clear about the terms and conditions. This foundational knowledge is the launchpad to your debt-free journey. Then, we come to the art of prioritizing your payments. It's about focusing on the most pressing debts first, those with the highest interest rates or the ones that can potentially cause the most harm. It's about making informed decisions that can save you from drowning in the sea of financial obligations. Next, we spoke about negotiating with creditors. It might seem intimidating, but remember, it's a dialogue. You can negotiate lower interest rates, extended payment terms, or even a reduced overall debt. Creditors would rather get some of their money back than none at all, so use that to your advantage. Creating a budget is another crucial strategy. It's about tracking your income and expenses, cutting back on unnecessary spending, and allocating funds wisely. It's about making every penny count towards your debt repayment. We also discussed increasing your income as a way to escape debt faster. Whether it's through a side gig, selling unused items, or seeking a raise, every additional dollar can bring you closer to your goal. And remember, there's no shame in seeking professional help. Debt counselors, financial advisors, and credit counseling services are there to provide guidance when the going gets tough. They can offer expert advice, help you devise a viable repayment plan, or even negotiate with creditors on your behalf. Finally, we highlighted the importance of staying motivated. The journey to financial freedom can be long and arduous, but with perseverance, resilience, and a positive mindset, you can overcome any financial obstacle. Remember, escaping debt is not a dream, it's a journey, and every journey begins with a single step. Take that step today.